So as we know, Arsenal's summer transfer business is officially over with 8 new signings, a few outgoings as well, getting them off the wages, of course, some new contracts. But Andrea Berta's work doesn't finish. He's always working. This guy doesn't sleep, people, it seems like. Because even though the window's shut, there's still a lot of work to do with the new contracts. And I actually argue both these deals are as important as signing a new player. It's so vital, it's so key that we keep both of these players at this football club for the future. It is, of course, Bukayo Saka and William Saliba's new contracts. Now, both of them, their contracts don't run out until 2027. However, it's so key that we've got to extend. And Arsenal are in positive talks and in negotiations in the past couple of weeks with contracts, new contract extensions for Saka and William Saliba. As we know, Europeans elite, the likes of Real Madrid looking at Saliba, all over Saliba, always there assessing the situation, what's going to happen with him. And I'm sure it's the same for Bukayo Saka. It's Bukayo Saka's William Saliba, people. You know, you saw how even to an injury, how bad how bad it was losing out to Saka. You know, in terms of when he was injured, we struggled big time. And Saliba, you know, you take Saliba out of this team. Gabriel is a sensational centre back as well. But when you got both of them together, that's like the spine of his team, in my opinion. Is Gabriel Saliba, the centre back pairing that they have. I think is the best in Europe. I can't. I'm struggling to name a better centre back pairing than Saliba and Gabriel. You know, so you take one of those away from each other, it's not the same, is it, people? It's not the same. And, you know, we can't have Saliba going anywhere at the end of the day. I think there is going to be a few factors, which I'll talk about later on into the video, where could determine whether he stays or not. Same with Saka, maybe. But as we know, Andrea Berta, he's already got the new deal with Gabriel. He's already got the new deal with Ethan Wanyeri. He's already got the new deal with Miles Skelly, sorry. So he's already working on signing these new contracts, getting these some of our key players and making sure they stay this time. Because how many times have we seen this over the years, people, where our key players, our best players, they leave and they go elsewhere and they go to these different clubs and they go and win stuff. We cannot have the same situation with this team now because we do have a, believe it or not, people, we do have a very, very good team. We've got a very good squad in a number of positions now. I think the manager is a different story. I'm not really going to talk about the manager on this occasion because that's a completely different story, which different video that is another day. But as a squad, we certainly have a squad that is capable of winning trophies. And this could be one of the factors that determines why Saliba stays. You know, now with someone like Bukayo Saka, you know, he's been Arsenal is like Saka is Arsenal in that if that makes sense. You know, he was came from Howland, of course, worked his way through 17, 18, 19, playing for the first team. Been there when we was in the gutter, you know, when we obviously Emery, first stage of Arteta when we was, you know, 15th at times, getting us out the gutter, getting us out the mud as well. He's been there and done it with us. Again, but he's gonna want silverware, people. He's gonna want trophies at the end of the day. Even someone like Saka, who probably, you know, he's as I said, he's Arsenal, but even him, even he's gonna want trophies. You know, we saw it with Fabregas, for example, right? And the same with William Saliba. You know, William Saliba's there. He's Real Madrid lurking around him year in, year out. You know, they're like, that's one of Real Madrid's main priorities. But they know it's quite impossible to get it done right now because, you know, Saliba's happy where he is. You know, he's happy at Arsenal. He thinks his team can go and win big things. And that's his mentality. Both these players' mentality as well. That should be the mentality that we should be having. But if we come to the end of next season again and we win nothing, that is where that's what it does. You know, I'm concerned about really, guys. I'm concerned, especially more on Saliba's point of view. You know, because it is Real Madrid calling for you. We smoked them last year. I get that, but it's still Real Madrid. You know, this the name alone is like okay, respect. You know, not many players are down Real Madrid. You know, these players only have one career as well. If they year in year out and we're not winning any trophies, they're gonna think to themselves, hold on a minute, I wanna go. I've only got one career here. So that's something that we've got to really look at as well. Could be a factor is success and whether this team is gonna obviously win something this season. Um, but what we will say is right now I'm very, very confident that we're gonna extend both these contracts. You know, I think Bert as a director is ruthless. Um, he's certainly gonna have his ways to well, what he did with sort of Gabriel, right? What he did with Ethan, what he did with Lewis Skelly. You know, he's definitely gonna propose to them his ambition and the plans for the future, and obviously convince these lot to stay. And I think we're going to do the same with Bukayo Saka and William Saliba. I think there's always going to be back in the, you know, Saliba's going to know about Real Madrid. Of course he is. You know, it's going to be in the back of his mind that Real Madrid are there. But I think, you know, we've got a few weeks. Well, we've been negotiating with both of these new deals for a few weeks, and we're going to get them both done, extended as well. And I think that's going to be so important. As I said, for me, I put it as far as saying they're as important as signing new players for me because they're that key to this team. Both of them are this key. So I think both of them are two of our most important players in this team. I really do. You know, you see the way how Saliba and Gabriel have that incredible partnership. You see the way how Saka, you know, you take him away from the team and he had the injuries last season and how much we struggled. And Saka's been here year in, year out, people. He's as I said, he's took us from the gutter. He's got us he's developed he's developed himself into a phenomenal player as well. But I think what's missing for both of these players is a bit of silverware, is a bit of success from it now. And that's sort of like the factor I look at when maybe it comes to next season with 1-0, especially someone like Saliba. Could he be tempted to move on next year? I obviously hope not, but I think, you know, Bert will definitely get these guys extended 100%. And yeah, definitely what we need to focus on now. You know, the window's now shut until, of course, January. We've got some new players in, as we know. We sold a few players. Of course, the wages they are on could be a factor as well. I think both of these are actually on under 200 grand a week. I think Saka's on. I could be. Probably should have checked it before doing the video, right? But I think they're on around just over 150 grand a week or 180 grand a week. That's the last time I saw it. Reportedly, of course, both of them are on similar amount of money. What I will say is they're going to definitely the wages are going to we'll probably have to give them around 250 because if you think about them and their agents, they're going to be looking at the wage bill and see players like Kai Havertz, for example. You know, Havertz on our highest. He's our highest paid player. You know, 260 grand a week, along that Saliba and get a Saka. All right, you want us to stay? Well, the agents will be like this, I think. Yeah, you want us to stay? All right. Well, if Havertz your highest paid player, we want more than that, or we want equal to it, basically. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. How much wages that they do, um, of course, get as well. But I'm very confident. I think we're all very confident that both of these will stay, and you know, Berta will get both of these deals done in the next few weeks. So yeah, thank you everyone who watched the video. Let me know your guys' thoughts, of course. As always, Saka and Saliba new contracts. Um, and yeah, obviously this will be some fantastic news, and it's what Berta, you know, has came in to do really. Because as I said in the past, how many times have we seen this in the recent years where we our best players that we let go, you know, they either run down their contracts and go on a free, or that they just say that we ain't got enough ambition anymore and they want bigger things and better things. So that's why I added the point of the whole trophy and just having a bit of having a bit of success into it as well, because these players only have one career, guys, and I've seen it in the past with these other players where you know they move on and they're going and win unfortunately as well, which we can't have. So yeah, I definitely think Butters came in there, already proved that he can get these contracts done with Ethan, with Lewis Skelly, with Gabriel as well. These are two of our most important players in Saka and Saliba. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to get it done. I'm sure he's going to do the business as well. And yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on that. As always, smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watched. Take care.